picture.
Thank you so much, Mom.
Beautiful.
I love you.
You are the most beautiful bride.
You're making me cry. Stop it.
Yeah.
This is grandmom's bangle. She passed it for Ishrat, Brad's wife. And this is my wedding. These two. And this is for her.
And then these?
This is for her I bought. This is her.
I waited for this one since I was 6.
Yeah.
I worked with that one all the time. Okay.
Don't fall asleep at the wheel. We got a million miles ahead of us. Miles ahead of us. All that we need is a rude awakening to know we're good enough. Know we're good enough. Don't you give up, nah, nah, nah. I won't give up, nah, nah, nah. Let me love you. Let me love you. Don't you give up. Come on, turn the radio on. It's Friday night and I won't be long. Gotta do my hair, put my makeup on. It's Friday night and I won't be long till I hit the dance floor, hit the dance floor. I got all I need. No, I ain't got cash, I ain't got cash. I got you, baby. Baby, I don't need dollar bills to have fun tonight. Baby, I don't need dollar bills to have fun tonight. Don't need no money, as long as I can feel the beat. Come on, turn the radio on. It's Saturday and I won't be long. Gotta paint my nails, put my high heels on. It's Saturday and I won't be long till I hit the dance floor, hit the dance floor. I got all I need. No, I ain't got cash, I ain't got cash. I got you, baby. Baby, I don't need dollar bills to have fun tonight. Baby, I don't need dollar bills to have fun tonight. I don't need no money, as long as I can feel the beat.
I know that you want me to come with you and talk. I'm just trying to keep it real with you. Are you feeling me the way I'm feeling you? You go call your boo and I'ma call my queen. Cause Jay was you and Juggy easy coming through. Kudi soni nitte aakh masafani, tu guddiyan di rani di gall sun jaan. Tu dil kholiya te mera man mole.
Right about now, we'll be finishing the ribbon ceremony. If we could all get your attention towards the monitor in the back.
You're in
We'll all be able to see the lovely
dance? You're in dance mode?
No, not yet.
Not yet.
Music style called Bhangra.
Alright, what would you like?
have a woman here.
Okay.
That might not. I brought my associate.
Alright.
He won't say this, but he's a very powerful man.
Oh, really?
I don't think you want to see what happens if you don't release.
Okay.
So let's start with $1,000.
Yeah, I don't think we can just give her.
Say loudly, say loudly.
She's quite an amazing woman.
We have money to get the queen.
Because you wanted that much money?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Queen.
Without money, no queen.
This is a man of,
Would you like to?
this is a man of considerable wealth.
Okay. Okay.
Sure. So if he has considerable wealth, then you're willing to pay the $100,000, right?
He can have any bride that he wants.
Oh, but she couldn't have any guy that she wants. I mean,
Yeah.
seated, that would be great.
Let me discuss it with my partner.
Alright. Alright.
okay, go ahead. He's gonna bring back the
That's great.
How much money would you
Okay, again, if you can get the attention towards the back of the room,
million
the monitor
Canadian.
here, and we'll be commencing the ribbon ceremony as the bride and groom enter.
Do you like
suggesting cocktail offers?
Do they have Canadian ones?
You get paid in American dollars, right? You get paid in American dollars,
Foreign
right?
accounts. Foreign accounts. Wouldn't that be rude?
And real ones.
No.
Real ones.
My associate has
Not the
an offer for you.
Monopoly one.
We are not that
What's
cheap.
what's the offer?
No
Yeah.
way.
Come on, that's not $100,000.
Absolutely.
How much is it?
Try count.
Oh, you guys need
Count
to
it for us.
Count it for us. Count it for us.
Don't even touch it.
Not even worth our
Do the
time.
big bills for. Yeah, I know. You know what? That's not even $1,000. That's fine. It's fine. All right.
The bank says no. Sorry, guys.
All right. So how about I have some values here that might be a little more satisfactory to you guys. How about you guys try one of the values that we've selected? Try like picking one of the values.
Uh-oh, let's see.
Could be a lot. Could be more.
Well, how much?
Would you agree with that value?
Show us.
Do you agree with it?
I do.
All right. Can you show us what the number
show
is?
us the number.
Show us the number.
See. You're lucky.
All right.
Only 500.
Do we accept? Do we accept? Are we gonna give away our queen for $500?
I think we can.
All right. All right. Hope, would you like to
Let's count
do
first.
Okay. Yeah.
Please give it a round of applause.
Okay.
Because we're a little short.
I can already tell this is really
His
short.
money is wrapped up in
actually.
investments.
This is very short. Are you kidding me? I don't need to count this. This is very short. Where's more? Come on.
Get the $100 notes.
Yeah, I don't think that's
very
Not the fake ones.
with more money.
We've heard your currency is nearly worthless. I have here 20 American dollars, which equals 20 million Canadian dollars.
Really? Don't worry, we accept debit and credit card also.
Checks,
No, it's okay. Show me the debit card. Of prepaid credit card.
All right, ladies.
Okay. All right. Oh, you got bed.
I'm not sure if
Oh,
you're
you got
familiar with
bed.
this currency, but
Oh, okay.
it is
I
worth
hope
many
it's real.
times
It's
this
not from Canadian
dollar.
kind.
Okay. Yes. All right. That's good.
That's
All right. We accept your offer. Hope, would you like? Oh yeah. Let's
Shake hands.
And
Make a deal. Make a deal.
Everybody shake her hand. There we go.
It's been a pleasure.
Okay, now you want bride?
Hope, would you like to do the honors of
Oh.
There you go.
No, 1 minute. 1 minute. Bride কে নিয়ে আসবো তারপর একসাথে। Oh.
No, আগে কেটে নিই তারপর ব্রাইড নিই। Okay, cut it first, then I will.
I would like to cut the ribbon before.
Yeah, she's in here. I'm sure you'd love to come.
So now is a good time?
Yeah. All right. Okay,
Now is a good time?
go for it. Cut that ribbon. Get your bride. Go get her.
Now and then no, go. Hold. Music, drum.
To impress ya, a gentleman from the start. I'll get you a drink of the bar, and to make you think of the love, and then meet you in the head of the car. If it's alright with you, it's alright with me. Take a drink of the bar, you and me.
For Ishrat and Brett, please. Thank you very much. All right. And now, shortly after that, we will have the families of the bride and the groom follow through into this lovely passageway. They could walk on down. So the family of the bride, Mr. and Mrs. Jeffel. If I could get everyone seated, that'd be fantastic. And we can commence with the program. All right, that was lovely. That was lovely to see. Welcome everyone. Assalamu alaikum to everyone. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, uncles and aunties. and all the children that will soon be on a sugar rush running around. My name is Anil Raman. I am a family friend to the bride's family, and I have been gifted the responsibility to be the MC for tonight's ceremonies. So hooray for me. Yeah, we can give myself a round of applause. I'll take that. Thank you. Just a few short words before we commence. Tonight our community has all gathered here from within our city of Edmonton to join guests that have traveled from abroad to witness and celebrate the love between Brett and Ishrat, the lovely couple on stage. As they embark on their next chapter of life together, I know we will all have their happiness in our prayers and wish that they continue each day finding a new way to show love for one another. If you've met the beautiful newlyweds, you'll know that it's a safe bet, so I think we can all rest assured for that to happen. We have a wonderful program ahead of you tonight. At first, we will start with a dua, which is a prayer, and we will be followed by a few speeches from the family, and then we will bear witness to a Rusmat ceremony, which I'm learning for the first time. Apparently, it's a thing that Bengalis do, and we'll all bear witness to that. Followed by something that no one was thinking about and no one was concerned about, which is dinner. So that will follow after that. And there will be some lovely cultural performances to entertain us for tonight. And then we have a first dance for Brett and Ishrat, and then we will end the night with our own dancing shoes, so I hope we can all have some fun tonight. Just one slight request. I know everyone will be excited to flood Facebook with a ton of photos of tonight. There's a beautiful bride and groom, a handsome MC, and I get it, it's the cool thing to do these days. Having said that, we do have professional photographers here in attendance, Carlos and some gentlemen from MSD Photography here. So if we could all be courteous of their requests and try to not obstruct their view, and that'd be fantastic. I'm sure everyone would appreciate that. They're capturing moments for Brett and Ishrat here. Guys, I will be asking you guys to clap a lot, so hopefully you have your hands ready, or if you want to jump up and dance, do what you do. There will be a few more speeches. So, following that, we will have a speech from the father and the mother of the bride, Mr. and Mrs. Yaqub. So if I could get a warm round of applause for Mr. and Mrs. Yaqub, we'll have them. So round of applause for Mr. and Mrs. Yaqub, please. Thank you very much.
So again, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Good evening to you all. My dear friends, guests, family, and distinguished guests as well, and our beloved kids, we do welcome you in this hall. I have the pleasure to welcome you very cordially for gracing this occasion. I know you have sacrificed a lot, your different programs, and you took a lot of troubles to reach here to grace this occasion. We are very, very thankful to you from personally on my behalf and from my family on behalf. To be honest with you, we are waiting for this event to come, not for months, for years. Finally, Allah granted our prayers. Thanks to Almighty Allah. And I must appreciate some of the friends and families who went to Saudi Arabia to perform their Umrah. Even they assured from them they prayed in the two mosques of Saudi Arabia so that Allah fulfills our wishes. Thanks to them very much. Our time was different. whoever completes his educational career like to get married and start a new life without waiting for the post-graduation. But this generation is different, likes to delay because they are afraid to take the new responsibility. Of course, this is my personal opinion. You may differ from me. Again, I want to say, I do not want to lengthen my talk, as you are not here this evening to listen speeches, but you are here to greet the newlywed couple, enjoy snacks, dinners, soft drinks, chit-chat, and most importantly, observe the traditional, cultural way of marriage of Bangladesh community, as we are unable to hold in Bangladesh. I like to focus on bride and groom, our daughter Ishrat, who is pretty by the grace of Almighty Allah. Completed her education quickly and joined work as a chartered accountant in Bermuda. She is extraordinarily caring, kind, and sympathetic to all, and keeps contact with all the relatives. She loves to travel and a good travel blog writer. Visited many countries of the world in her young age. She always fights for women's rights. I believe from the very students of class 9th grade, I still believe that. About my beloved son-in-law, Brad Robert Code, I can say this much in short time of knowing each other and short interaction. He is a wonderful young man with a sense of humor. He is very caring, affectionate. We are very much thankful to Almighty Allah for giving us an extended family member like him. Honestly speaking, I was surprised that one day I couldn't go out with them for shopping. While he returned home, that I must not go empty-handed. He brought a cup of coffee from Tim Hortons. He knows that my father-in-law would be father-in-law at that time, few days before, that he loves this coffee. Thanks to my son-in-law. Before I conclude my speech, I would like to extend my thanks to all our friends and families who work day and night for weeks for the success of the performance, and their relentless efforts they put together to make it flawless. Our kids are very hardworking to show their dance performances this evening to make us all happy and enjoying the events in the midst of their studies and work. Last but not the least, I appeal to you all to keep this newly wed couple in your prayer for their health and success in this life and hereafter as well. I will not repeat what my friend said before, just I still remember and I want to mention. While the prophet, all of you maybe know, while the prophet Moses, he killed a person unintentionally. Then the forces of Pharaoh were looking around him. Then one person he said, you leave this Egypt quickly to Madian, the present Palestine. He was so helpless, he was desperate, he was destitute at that moment. He just watered the sheep flock and came back to under the shade of a tree. He prayed. Oh Allah, give me, bestow on me whatever goods you have. So Allah immediately accepted because of his desperation. He had nothing, no support. Allah within a minute, he gave him his wife, his accommodation, his support, political, financial, everything. So that is the one way I appeal to you. You pray for this newlywed couple in that way so that they are really successful in this life and hereafter. Once again I tell you. Lastly, my beloved half who is standing, all credits goes to her because this it has started in the January 1918. I was away in Bangladesh for 60 days. While I came back, she arranged everything so nicely that I was relaxing till today. She set everything in such a way that I don't need any. Our friends are asking, oh, she's looking so tense. You are so relaxed. And I am so happy, I am lucky that I got a wife like that who supported me from all aspects. Thank you so much, Sultana. Thank you very much once again to be with me so long and listen to me so cordially. Thanks. Bye.
You already made me cry.
Need a napkin?
You already made me cry.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give her a napkin.
Who's got napkins?
Who's got napkins?
No, that's fine.
No one's got
I'm okay. He gave a very nice speech, so maybe my one is not so good.
Oh, Mom, you're great.
Assalamu alaikum, family, friends and guests. Peace be upon all of you. Welcome to this very, very special occasion for which I have been waiting since my house was enlightened with a beautiful small diamond. My daughter Ishrat is a very precious gift for our family. She was raised up with lots of love and affection from her parents and two older brothers, which made her loving, caring and compassionate. Needless to say, a bit spoiled too. As she grew up suddenly, I found her in a position as my friend, with whom I could share all my anxiety, stress and problem. When no one is there to listen, I find her by my side. I love you. I saw her growing growing up in independent, a strong and courageous young woman. Even though I am very much independent and self-confident and persistent, it is amazing to see her personality. She is really unique and talented, far beyond my imagination. Her achievements are enormous in different aspects. Even though at times I became very anxious, I never tried to interfere with her independence. As time passed, I became anxious about her marriage. I grew up in a family where I have a firm belief that life cannot be complete without a life partner. Life partner is determined in the heaven, who make us complete in this world. 1.5 years ago, for the first time, she told me she found someone who she thinks is appropriate for her as life partner. That made me more anxious, thinking about her personality. However, when I met Brad, all my anxiety turned to happiness. He is loving, caring, smart, and handsome. Most important thing about him, he is open-hearted and not afraid of change. My heart is touched with his word when he sent me text message, I will do anything to be part of the family. I love you.
You really did everything.
My heart fills with joy as I found someone who calls me with a loving voice, Amma. He has gone through lots of processes and rituals to be part of my family. I felt from my heart how stressful it has been for him to go through this process. Still, my son accepted everything with a wide, innocent, heavenly smile in his face. My son, forgive me. I understand very well too much for you. Love you forever. I do not have to worry again when Ishrat doesn't call me on the phone for days. I know someone is there who will hold her hand firmly and tightly and will not allow her to fall. I also admire Cindy and Robert for such a beautiful upbringing of a wonderful person. Marriage is not only bring two human beings together, but also brings two families closer. We are not only blessed with a wonderful son, but also with the relationship with a wonderful family. I am so grateful that Robert and Cindy call Ishrat as their daughter too. I need to explain you little bit of my achievement. I promise it will not be long. Before I had 2 sons and 1 daughter. Now I have 3 sons and 3 daughters. Also 2 beautiful grandkids. My all family are here. My son Imtiaz and his wife Leah, and my grandson Noah and Adam from Houston. My other son Iftikhar and his wife Anita from Toronto are there. Thanks to Almighty Allah for this fulfillment. I cannot ask more than that. I want to thank all of Brad's family for traveling from far to be part of this celebration. I want to give thanks to all my friends who has worked hard for the last 6 months relentlessly for making this day exceptional. It would not be possible without your help. Thank you so much. I want to extend my thanks to all of the friends of Brad and Ishrat for traveling from far and making their time in the busy schedule and make the day bright. A very special thanks to my brother Tawfiq and family who flew from Tennessee to be part of the celebration. Thanks to Almighty Allah for making everything possible, making everything go smoothly for us. I wanted to see my daughter as most beautiful bride in the world. Today God is so kind to me that He fulfilled my dream. Please keep the newly married couple in your prayers. May Allah bless them for long, healthy and happy life. Let their smile enlighten everyone around them. Let them be coolness and happiness of our eyes. Amen. Thank you so much. May God bless you all. Love you all. Thank you.
corner so you guys can see me cry. It got emotional. It got very emotional. Very beautiful speeches. Thank you, Antiago. Before we commence the Rusma ceremony, what I'll have is Brett's father, Robbie Corday. I pronounced that right, hopefully. And I'll have him come up and share some words. And we'll go from there. Thank you. A round of applause for Robbie Corday, please.
I want to start by saying, all of us saying, thank you to Sultana and Yakub for all that they have done to make this happen. So at this time, let's give them something. Bermuda, come on. Am I too loud or too quiet? So, thank you so much. This is nothing like I could have imagined as a ceremony, event, reception, celebration for your son-in-law, who I know a little bit, and your daughter, who I also know quite well. Okay? And that's heartfelt. Now, here's my problem. I'll start like this. Bangladesh, Bermuda. My wife said talk slow. I know, all right? Bermudians, talk fast. I go slow. Bangladesh, big country. Bermuda, small country. Bangladesh, humble people, in my opinion. Bermuda, we don't do humble very well. That's not an insult to Bangladesh. I'm just saying we don't do humble very well. I have to follow right now two very dignified speeches, two wonderful, heartfelt speeches, and I did take a stab at doing some heartfelt stuff myself. It's not what I'm very good at. I'm a guy who hopes that my actions speak louder than words, because I'm not good at describing my own son the way Sultana did. I mean, she described my son. But I couldn't do it. I'm not that smart, okay? I couldn't do it, so thank you for doing that for me. Our son. I did learn, Yakub started off with some Bengali that went into English. I do want to show off a little bit. I have learned one Bengali word, okay? That word is cricket. Bangladesh, very, very, very good at cricket. Bermuda, very, very bad at cricket. Brad had a great story when they were in Nepal, and they are trekking in Nepal. There's no cell phones, there's no TVs, there's no radio. Where's the communication? But everywhere he went on this trek in Nepal, when the Nepalese found out he was from Bermuda, the first thing they say to him is, "Hey, we beat you at cricket." I was there for that match. I saw it. It was held in Bermuda. So communication travels in ways that I don't understand. But it was surprising that they wanted to rub it in to the one Bermudian they knew to rub it into. Says something about the Nepalese, maybe. So, it's my privilege and my joy to say a little something about Ishrat. I'm not going to shower you with funny stories about them because then I would be here all night. But in my clumsy way, I'd like to talk about how wonderful this union is to us and to their parents. How happy we are for this union. Okay, I got that. I want to talk about mothers-in-law. I'm going off in tangents, don't worry about it. Mothers-in-law. I was blessed with what I've always said was the best mother-in-law in the world. I met a woman for my son Brett who matches that woman. Wonderful mother-in-law, loves this boy, and just accepts him into his family. My other son also has a wonderful mother-in-law who accepted him into their family. Much as I, the little dumb Bermudian who left my rocks as a 17-year-old, 16-year-old, was accepted by my future wife's family and protected by my mother-in-law-to-be and her family. Protected from her daughter who I married by her sisters who protected me from her. Why tell Robbie that? Why tell Robbie that? Anyway, both my sons are lucky and blessed to have married girls who have wonderful mother-in-law. So I feel very happy for them for that. As another aside, you know, every parent is worried about the spouse that their child will choose. I think Sultan and Yaqub have been lucky with their son-in-laws and daughter-in-laws, son-in-law, daughter-in-laws. She and I have been lucky with our son-in-law and daughter-in-laws because we like them. We like the choice our children have made. So that's a blessing for us. That's a gift for us, that we don't have to pretend to like these people. I'll see what else I'm supposed to say. Now, all parents love their children unconditionally. That's a given. You can be the rotten little son of a gun in the world, but we're still going to love you unconditionally. That's a given. The gift that we have today and the gift that our children have given us is that they have made us proud. They've made us proud of the adults that they have become, of the considerate people that they have become, the wonderful spouses they have chosen. That's the gift to us. That we get to be proud of them. Not banal, self-centered pride, but pride in what something that you've created has become. And there's just no way to describe that. And they also know when you go to the next level, and you get the gift of grandchildren, and you see your children, and I told my kids this, so far I've had one, if you mess up, I'm coming in. And I'll tell you why I'm coming in. Brett would say to me, Dad, I'm not going to raise my kids the way you raised us. You were always in our business. No other parents who like you were always in our business. Calling ahead when we want to go somewhere. All that intrusive stuff that we did. I'm not going to raise my kids the way you raised us. And I said, Brett, I have 3 children, as do Yaqub and Sultana. 3 children with college education. They are not a burden to society. They are an asset to society. They are considerate of their family and of their friends and those they meet. I can see why you wouldn't want to raise children like that, all right? Let me try another one. In conclusion, and the crowd goes wild. Okay. I'm just going to conclude by saying we are very happy to have Ish as our daughter-in-law, daughter. We're happy that Brett has her as his spouse. We're happy for Ish and Brett together, this partnership of adventure, this partnership of doing things I could never imagine doing. Thank you for the sacrifices you have made to make all this happen, because it brought great joy to everybody here. If I could, if you could raise your glass and give me a all right to issue breath. 1, 2, 3, all right. Okay, thank you very much.
I love you.
All right, Robbie, you killed that one. Okay. Now, prior to dinner, there is a ceremony for us to witness. It is called a Rusmat ceremony, and in that we will have what is including a drink exchange between the two, a flower necklace exchange, and a mirror seeing item. I'm very curious to see what that's about, but we'll find out. If you guys are unable to see, there's a monitor in the back here, a screen, if you want to better go to the
We will fix it, don't worry.
Adam, come back.
Okay, so part of this traditional Bengali ceremony, there's a mirror part where they both look into the mirror and then they say the first thing that comes to their mind about the other person. So hopefully Brett does something right. A whole lot of time to mess up.
Let's see, Brett, tell me what you see in the middle.
Sorry?
You have to tell me what you see in the middle.
I remember this one.
Yes, cover it. See in the middle. Look at the mirror. You have to see my face.
Face.
Can you? You know you
Yes, yes I can.
I can see you.
I see the moon.
Oh, he's the moon.
Okay, we're gonna rock with that. He says something positive. Okay, great. Over the moon. He's over the moon.
I'm over the moon.
Can I put it down now? I can't see you. Hold it. Your turn now. I see him. What do you see? The ocean, the sun, and the stars. Oh my God.
Wow. Okay, this is really Bollywood romantic. Now that all of that has been concluded, is the time that a lot of people will be waiting for, because I'm sure we're all a little hungry. Dinner will be being served right away, so we will conclude ceremonies afterwards. I believe the DJ here, DJ Naveed, will be able to announce the tables. You guys will be fine. So just hang tight, and we'll all fill our stomachs with some delicious food, I guess. So thank you. See you guys shortly.
इस तरह दिल को मिला है सुकून कुछ इस तरह खुश है ये दिल क्या कहूँ आसान है अब ये सफर कोई वहम ना है सनम तू मेरी सांसों के नजदीक है अब ना सहे करना है हम जो इश्क है तेरा सब ठीक है कुछ इस तरह जैसे कोई दुआ नाजुक है बड़ा ये पल ये समा आ जा मेरी चाहों में तुमको जरा कुछ इस तरह दिल को मिला है सुकून कुछ इस तरह तरह खुश है ये दिल क्या कहूँ आसान है अब ये सफर जो बनी तू मेरी सफर आसान है अब ये सफर जो बनी तू मेरी हम सफर कुछ इस तरह दिल को मिला है सुकून कुछ इस तरह खुश है ये दिल क्या
Dressed up in black and dark makeup, she always looked up to me as her cool older brother, and would tell stories about how cool our brother in university to all of her friends. The only time she briefly thought I wasn't cool was when I told her I listened to country music once in a while. But as she grew up, she became the cool one, and I started admiring her for her strength, her fierce independence, her adventurous spirit, and her irresistible charm. All strengths she uses well to carve out her own non-conformist path through life, playing by her own rules. And to give you an example of that, when she started university, she decided to major in art history. Now, not the most practical of majors. Even though she was smart, academics and test taking was never held her interest, and her grades kind of showed. I think it was mostly a string of C's and D's in art history. Now, this was in Toronto, and we were living together at the time. I was in law school, and one day I remember her coming home and saying that art history majors don't make any money, and she needed a major where you would have more marketable skills. For some reason, she chose accounting. I was not sure why she of all people, would pick something that would seem really dry for her, but that's what she insisted on. Now, although she started getting better grades, it wasn't enough to overcome the earlier grades and to bring up her GPA, enough to even get interviews at any of the top prestigious global accounting firms that she thought she needed to get into so that she could have a good start in her career. So she did what she does best and forged her own path on her terms. She founded a new accounting mentoring club at the University of Toronto just so that she could reach out to the top accounting firms, asking them to mentor her club. And next thing you know, she networked her way into a job at one of the top accounting firms. Being hired at one of these highly selective firms, beating out candidates with perfect GPAs, but who clearly lacked her personality and her creativity. Of course, switching to accounting worked out really well, as taking that job eventually led her to Hamilton, Bermuda. And as we know, the rest is history. Now, I met Brett for the first time last July when we were all visiting Bermuda. Ishrat texted me earlier that year, asking if we could visit her that year, and there was somebody she would like us to meet. And that she had already asked Mom and Dad to visit. So it sounded serious, so we decided we'd go to Bermuda for our family vacation that year. Of course, I prepared to meet Brett for the first time with the natural skepticism of a big brother who doesn't think any guy is good enough for her sister. He came off well enough at our first meeting, and I was impressed with how hard he was trying and how good he was interacting with my boys. More importantly, over the next few days, I saw how much they cared for each other, how much they loved each other, and how supportive he is of my sister's adventurous spirit. Not to mention that he was willing to go on a crazy adventure around the world for several months, staying at a little bug-infested shacks with no plumbing, which my sister calls cute. Eat at roadside stalls with questionable hygiene, and then probably use the adjacent outhouses soon afterwards. I'm sure Ishrat's filtered Instagram pictures doesn't do justice to what Brett really had to go through. But thankfully, Brett only got hospitalized once during that visit that I know of.
My parents don't know that yet.
Well, now they do. After all that, you can't question his love and his dedication, and I'm delighted to welcome Brett to the family and continue reading the story of theirs, of two people growing up in different parts of the world with different experiences, and with the infinite number of different paths they could have taken, somehow colliding paths on a little island in the Atlantic. There's something magical about that series of events and decisions that led them and our families made through their lives to arrive at this special moment. And with that, I want to congratulate the newlyweds. From me, my wife, Leah, my brother, Iftikhar, and my sister-in-law, Anita. Congratulations. Sorry, my son wants to say something as well.
Alright, we'll just rock with this then. Resuming our ceremony today, we have some lovely entertainers that have come to us. So boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce our entertainment for tonight. Indigo Circus is a team of award-winning circus performers brought together by Sapphire Dance. Their unique show includes a range of circus skills, magic feats, comedy acts, and dangerous stunts. More dangerous than getting Auntie's and uncles to sit down. Gather around and prepare to run away to the circus with Indigo Circus. So round of applause for Indigo Circus, please. I feel like I lost weight watching the performance. That was good. Okay, so coming up next, we have a more of a Bangladeshi style dance / Bollywood dance, performed by some girls we all know from the community: Samantha, Hope, Shishti, Suba, and Ajia. I'm sorry if I pronounced the word. Go give them a warm welcome.
Shut my
लगा के रखना, डोली सजा के रखना, लगा के रखना, डोली सजा के रखना, लेने तुझे अब गोरी आएंगे तेरे सजना। मेहंदी लगा के रखना, डोली सजा के रखना, ओ
चेहरा छुपा के रखना, चेहरा सजा के रखना, चेहरा छुपा के रखना, ये दिल की बात अपने दिल में दबा के रखना, चेहरा सजा के रखना, चेहरा छुपा के रखना,
मेहंदी लगा के रखना, डोली सजा के रखना, रूप तेरा सोना, सोने तेरी पायल, तेरा सोना सोना सोन तेरी पायल, छनछना छन ऐसे छन के करते सबको घायल, कह रहा आँखों का काजल इश्क में जीना मरना, ये से शावा शावा माहिया से शावा शावा माहिया से शावा शावा माहिया से शावा शावा, बादशाह की देख रहे हो किसी? जल्दी शुरू हो जाओ। 1 2 3 4 ऐसे छनके दर्द सबको घायल, कह रहा होगा काजल इश्क में जीना मरना, ये से शावा शावा माहिया से शावा शावा माहिया से शावा शावा माहिया से शावा शावा,
This
की हो गया दिल जानिए हर मन की हो गया
Yeah, I love you. Impromptu dance performance. Brett killed it. I think we give a hand up to Brett. It's not the whole final party. Guys, you did a good job. Just to wrap up, what we'll have is Brett and Ishrat join me up on stage and have a few words to share with you guys. And then we'll start the dance party after that.
Hey everyone! Oh god, hello. Just want to say first thank you everybody for coming. I know we've all traveled very far to get here, coming from many different cultures. Some of us may have traveled from Bangladesh many, many years ago to come to Canada. Some of us may have traveled from Bermuda or from Toronto. One of the most beautiful things that comes out of traveling the world is diversity and bringing cultures together. Diversity requires a great deal of understanding and even a greater deal of patience on our parts. It requires us to open our mind, open our hearts outside our comfort zone, and remember the most important thing is not to agree but to love each other despite our differences. To my husband, my love, Brett, thank you very much for the incredible amount of patience and understanding you've shown me and my family, for joining together, for doing all the things that needed us to get to this point. It was a long process, sometimes hard, sometimes emotional, but we made it, and it's been great. I want to especially thank my mom, who is by far the most incredible person I know. I don't know if many of you know this. She traveled from Bangladesh to Dubai. Worked as a doctor there for 25 years, was basically one of the best doctors in Dubai. And then she traveled here in her, sorry mom, I'm aging you, in her 50s to immigrate to Canada, which is really hard to do as a doctor. And she traveled by herself to Hamburg, Ontario, where it was all snow, and she was the only brown person there for miles. And she did it with incredible persistence, strength, courage, and determination. And I learned so, I'm always like completely amazed by her, and it's incredible. And then she finally found a home here in Edmonton. And she has been a rock. She has been the most wonderful woman. Everybody keeps telling me she planned the wedding, and I hadn't spoken to anybody until I came here. And everyone said, she's so incredible. Did you ever plan this whole wedding? I'm like, yes she did. So I really, really have an incredible amount of love. I'm one of the luckiest girls in the world to have her as my mom. To my father also left. He was the one that initially moved to Dubai from Bangladesh, from his little village of not very much. He went from there to become a doctor, and through lots of struggles, through a lot of, the general poverty of the village, and then moving to Dubai by himself when Dubai was just a desert and still had camels. He once told me that they brought a camel that had been hit by a car to his hospital, to his clinic. That was not the Dubai it is today, and he worked there for, I don't even remember how many years, lots of years. 25? 26? 28 years, raising all of us, and they both took us to a different country every year. They gave us so much love. I got my love of travel from, they think it's not from them, but it is from them, because They took me to all kinds of different countries and opened up the world for me and made it possible so that I could come to Dubai, and then I could come to Canada, and then I could move to Bermuda to meet Brett. So it's all their hard work and their awesomeness. And my brothers, who I love you guys have been amazing. You've helped a lot. Peace, Ifti, and Ifti, and Leah, and Anita. I'm so glad that I have these awesome new sisters-in-laws that I get to hang out with, and that this wedding brought us all together so we can spend a lot of time together. Rob and Cindy, you are the best in-laws I could have asked for. Thank you for your incredible open-mindedness, your humor, just for traveling all this way to come be here, and for all the love you've shown me, for coming to my TED Talk. You guys were there. So thank you for all of that. To my amazing friends, I love you guys so much. Thank you for coming, for sharing this with us. We love you. Thank you. Oh, and hold on. And all of the other guests, I know there's the entire Bengali community that is supported by my parents, that are friends of my parents. Thank you so much for coming. All of Dahlia, there's so many people that have helped out in this wedding, and Rani has sewn endlessly. Naju, and there's so many, Naju auntie, sorry. You guys have done so much, and I know each and every single one of you have contributed, and you've come here to share with us, so I really, really appreciate it. I appreciate that you guys gave so much community to my parents, and a place for them to call home. Thank you.
I couldn't imagine my wedding being something this incredible, with joining all my family and friends, with all of Ish's family and friends. I want to thank everyone for coming, long distances, short distances, for putting in your effort, for putting in your time. I hope you like the way that I danced for you.
Yeah! Yes!
I want to thank the girls. Where are the girls?
Where are the girls? Samantha, Hope, where are they?
They taught me how to dance. I had no idea.
Alright.
I'm still not very good. We're going to cut the cake in a moment, and we're going to continue with some music and dancing for the rest of the evening, but we really appreciate you all coming out, spending the night with us, and seeing everything that we have to offer. Thank you so much.
I guess that's about it. There will be a cake cutting ceremony. If you want to stick around, ceremony and whatnot. This whole thing's a ceremony, so it all falls under that. There'll be cake if you guys would like to stick around and have some of that and share that with them. Otherwise, that wraps up tonight's event. So thank you all for coming out. Give yourself a round of applause. Good stories, all right. And thank you for following me, and we'll see you another time. Good evening.
Yeah.